Hello everyone, Father Ben here again. Happy to be officially out of my quarantine. I've been out of it for about 3 to 4 days, but honestly it sort of feels the same coming out of it as when I was in it. But I just wanted to quickly mention about this week of Easter. And usually this week is called Easter week, and how it's been usually celebrated is that every single day this week is celebrated as if it was Easter. It was actually called the octave of Easter. So those 8 days beginning from Easter Vigil going all the way until the second Sunday of Easter itself. And one thing that I can't help but noticing as I'm outside here on my deck is just looking at how everything is teeming with life out here. You can probably hear the birds chirping in the background and everything, but just everything is so alive and vibrant. I was given some Easter lilies by my godmother, and after a while they just started opening up. They're very beautiful. They're starting to smell nice. Plants are coming up all over the place. I'm seeing more animals. There's actually 2 hawks back here that have begun building a nest, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start laying eggs pretty soon here. And so in the midst of seeing all this life coming forward, it can kind of seem hard when it seems like we're not feeling alive during this time, especially with Easter is usually a time of rejoicing, usually a time of the warmer weather and the renewal of life coming forward, just how it's always connected with this particular Easter season. However, one of the things to remember always, as with those early apostles, that they didn't experience this first Easter like we usually do. I mean, they didn't have a previous Easter to go off on. They only had their fear in the smallest amount of faith and hope that somehow God would be with them in those days in between Jesus' death and his resurrection. And because they held on to that small amount of faith, just the smallest strand of hope, that they saw the resurrected Jesus, that they were able to hold fast. And then they were able to experience this renewal with the resurrected Jesus that just exploded onto the scene. Many of them boldly began preaching in public. Many of them began healing in the name of Jesus. And many of them were suffering for Jesus' name and actually died for the name of Jesus. 11 of the 12 apostles died. And that's important to remember, because remember, most of them ran away from Jesus. And Peter, he denied Jesus 3 times that he knew him, and he ended up being crucified upside down for Jesus' name. And so the reason I mention all of that is, as we're watching everything come alive here around us and everything, to remember that the resurrected Jesus is always coming to you and I. He's always coming to us. And that you and I too will experience a resurrection, a beautiful renewal during this time with the COVID crisis and with just everything kind of seen upside down. That it's that smallest faith that we hold on to, where we see the resurrected Jesus, where we'll experience his life and his power. And that in looking at the beautiful creation around us, again, as I'm just kind of looking around it and hearing the birds sing and everything come alive, that when things don't seem like they're going to come alive or it's going to be the same, I mean, how long does winter seem sometimes? But that there's always going to be renewal. There's always going to be an expression of the power of the resurrected Jesus. The apostles experienced that personally, and that's what you and I will experience, not just during this Easter season, but continually through the future, holding on to that small amount of faith and hope. So, from my back porch here, I wish you all a blessed rest of your Easter week and Easter season. Keep holding on to that faith, and know and hold on to the hope that you will see and experience the resurrected Jesus if you haven't already. Take care, and God bless.